on to our next category, which is most innovative website or solution. I really enjoyed watching this talk. I always enjoy watching Tadhg's talks. But yeah, it was a very impressive project by Monsoon Consulting and Punch Pubs, big B2B project to support over 1,250 pubs. But I will leave telling you about that to Tadhg, e-commerce solution specialist there at Monsoon. So yeah, I'll pass it over to you now.
Excellent. Can you hear me? All good? Ho, ho, ho.
Yes, very
Happy
good.
Christmas. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Hyvä. And also thank you to Molly. It was a great event. Okay, pre-warning. This might drive you to drink. So drinkaware.co.uk. Punch Pubs and Co. Yeah, so big pub company in the UK. To our international visitors here today, the UK pub industry is primarily dominated by big companies like Wetherspoons, Heineken, Asahi, and Punch Pubs and Co. is one of those. And they own about 1,250 pubs dotted around the UK. And we built their B2B online portal. So all of their landlords in pubs around the country log online and place their orders through this online portal. Their customer services team also use this solution, which we will see in a few minutes. So this won the Innovation Award, which was great. I think it is best just show you some of the features that we actually implemented. And this was not an 8 weeks project like Ryan was talking about. This actually took over 18 months. So next slide, please. Yeah, so these are just some of the features that we what you're going to see today. And rather than just talking about it here, we've actually got screenshots from the various feature points, and we'll go through them now. So next slide. So in the food and drink sector, it is very common when you log in as an end user that you need to select a delivery day. And Punch Pubs is no different to most complex B2B portals out there. There's a lot of rules in the background, going on in the background. But primarily, yes, you pick your delivery date, and a lot of that data is being driven by ERP systems. So that's the first feature that we implemented. So this is quite a useful feature. So I always describe this as the happy marriage between your favorites or requisition lists and my orders. And it's called Your Usual. So it's basically all of your most recent purchases over a space of time, configurable in the admin panel. Punch Pub set it to 8 weeks. So it's really all of the products you have ordered in that period of time. So it saves you having to go through orders. They're all listed in front of you. For example, an enhancement on this would be to have a different sort order. Punch did not want it, but you could sort by most recently ordered, or what's more popular is what are my most popular ordered products. So yeah, as you can see, for speed, the cart is always visible on the right hand side as well. Okay, so in the drinks industry, promotions are very popular. It's actually across the food and drink sector in B2B. Wholesalers or pub companies, they're always asking suppliers for promotions, and it's very common in the drinks industry. So we extended cart price rules to when an offer goes live, it automatically appears in the offers category. Every offer has a landing page, and there's clear details about what I need to do to actually qualify for that offer. Now, on the right-hand side, you'll see in the basket, we've got one in the basket. So we've actually missed, this is the terminology they used, I've kind of missed the offer. So it's kind of like a little trigger, and it's going to go, oh, what did I need? So you obviously click on it, and you can hear, and you can see, well, I've got one in the basket. I obviously need another one. And if we go to the next slide, and we add another one in, then you qualify for the offer. Now, the conditions to meet the offer, there could be a number of products that you can add to the cart. And then once you've qualified, you can it could be a number of products to pick from. So that's why they always have the slide out, and you select, their users select if they wish to have the offer or not. So they actually have to select it. It doesn't automatically add to cart, because some promotions are not free drink promotions. They are other types of promotions like point of sale kits. Okay, a really neat little feature. It's actually quite simple to implement. We know on the card page it's a quote in the background, and when you think about pub owners, they're organizing events, upcoming things inside their pub. They may want to fill a basket, see what the kind of total cost is running at, and then they may save it. So they've obviously picked a delivery date, and they can simply, okay, I've got that. I can just push that to one side and recall it at any point in time. So that's a nice little feature. So Punch Pubs, believe it or not, they don't actually stock any products. So they rely on a network of distributors and depots throughout the country. Every single landlord that logs in has their own price book for a start, but they also have their own set of catalogue products, because it all hinges on what the depot can actually supply them. Now, in some cases, Punch Pubs like to target product recommendations, most likely driven by the supplier. In this instance, it could be other flavors of a certain drink that are available. But this feature is also used for when products are temporarily out of stock. Products could be delisted. Products could be replaced. So there's a lot of information being fed in from the background, depending on distributors and depots. But it's quite neat. All the product listing pages are in list mode. So it's quite neat to be able to sneak in a list of products, as you can see on the bottom. In this case, it's like, why not try out these? Okay, so Punch Pubs, like no other. In B2B land, margins are tight. And the payment gateway you decide to use is very important, because every cost, as we know, payment gateway, there's a transaction fee. So we actually, in this instance, we wrote two integrations from scratch, one into Barclaycard via JudoPay, and then we did open banking, which is very popular here, through a company called EcoSpend. And interestingly, the default on their checkout now is open banking. And to their surprise, the uptake was massive. Remember, an open banking transaction is a set fee, as opposed to a small percentage fee using a corporate credit card. So yeah, very flexible. You can see here other payment options like how much do you want to pay today, because essentially you're paying off an account. And even at the bottom, you can refer the order to credit, which we'll talk about in a second again. So when we kicked off Discovery, they gave us a recording of their customer services team taking an order over the phone. And they said, this is how fast the site has got to perform, because we actually built a storefront for customer services to be able to take orders over the phone. So performance was insanely important. The complexity of price books and catalogues, and there's no spinning wheels on this site, so everything is in Magento land. But customer services log in, they select the pub they want to, who they're speaking to. Again, it's all the pub information further down this screen. It's not here, but there's like loads of notes about, you can't see it at the moment, but about that pub. And ultimately then they want to place the order, different types, what if it's scheduled or not, a date. And yeah, you're now back into the kind of online order screens, but you can see this extra information suddenly appears for each product. For example, you can see how many they have ordered of that product over a period of time. It goes back, I think, a year. So yeah, that is that. So that was a really that was a big achievement to get that one over the line. But yeah, it all hangs together on a very complicated ERP integration. Most important one to say here, and this was something that had to be done post go live, is the monitoring and alerting of everything behind the scenes. And I will say, you can monitor and alert everything, but it's you got to alert the right stuff. So there was a bit of fine tuning there. Yeah, and here's some of the results. Obviously, the old site was, which contained, quite a few of these features, was that's where the big bottleneck was in terms of performance and page speed and stuff. So huge increase there, and increases across the board. And generally speaking, it was a great success. And would I do it again? I'll have a think about it. And that is it. Cheers.
Thank you, Tadhg. Yeah, like so, I really like seeing extremely complex Magento projects. So yeah, I think even with that being so complex, it still looks relatively clean, or as clean as it can on the front end and to the
Yeah,
users.
this is why we're craving for these kind of events. We're craving from the simple to the complex. We can extend Magento to pretty much do anything we want and still deliver it.
This was an 18-month project, you said?
18 months, yeah, 18 months of, I lost all my hair throughout the project, so that's why I wear a Santa hat now. But yeah, so just to give you kind of an idea, there was just under 5,000 development hours. But interestingly, the front end quote came in under. So that's thank you, Hyvä.
I wonder why.
The serious complexity behind the scenes, like just the integration alone, and we re-engineered a lot of core functionality, especially around the pricing side of things, and obviously delivery dates. That was a kind of a new feature, but yeah.
It's very specialistic work. I think you've gained a lot of experience in this area as a company through the past decade, I guess.
Yeah, like it was a fantastic project to work on. I'll be honest. And yeah, we did learn a lot, and we've taken a lot of those learnings, like we supported it through our R&D team as well. Like it took us a little bit longer than the original quote, but it was such a fantastic project. We went, like, we can actually re-engineer some of these modules potentially for other projects, obviously make them a little bit more generic. But look, I'd love to travel the world and kind of tell people this is what the platform is capable of.
Yeah,
Limitless.
it is. But your imagination is its only limit. So we've had a couple of questions. Is the first one being, do any of the users access the site using a mobile, or do they have to use desktop? I know we saw a screenshot from a mobile, but so I'm guessing users do use the mobile to access everything.
Yeah, mobile. And now the customer service team wouldn't. They're all on desktop because there's so much information on the screen. But pub landlords, yeah, they use mobile.
In the pub, on the phones, ordering the drinks.
Yeah. Well, interestingly, a lot of them are in the cellar. They could be down cellar or whatever. Oh, there's no reception down there at all.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's an interesting world.
I suppose then that's similar to Nick's challenge with older devices. You've got different challenges coming from the device that the website has to compete with, both performance and device, and whether they've got enough signal to power the website. So yeah. It's an interesting one. Nick actually asked, what's your favourite feature?
My favorite feature was your usual. Like that, just that bringing all those products together. Like if you can imagine now, oh my God, have we not mentioned AI yet today? So like if you take your usual, like if you want to take it forward and saved carts, like, we're looking at ideas like, well, we've got all the data. Every single order from Punch Pubs comes through this platform. So we've got all the data, we've got all the historic data. So you could almost use a combination of your usual with saved carts. You can almost pre-build a cart for users based on their history. So we've extended this further, your usual, where you show along the right-hand side what they ordered last. So a lot of the time they'll come in, it could be larger quantities. In B2B lands, like say the food industry, your usual, it could be, 20 bags of chips, frozen chips. So when you come back in, it'd be nice if the quantity box actually showed 20 rather than having to type in or use the plus minus.
Yeah,
So
or even remember sometimes.
It's like open up our imagination around all of that kind of thing.
I love it. Yeah, like you say, all of these features are applicable across lots of different industries, which is also very interesting as well.